The Institute for Colored Youth, also known as ICY, was founded in 1837 at this location, 716 Lombard Street. The school remained at this location until it was moved in 1902 to become Shawnee University. After a discouraging experience of being the only black student at the Allentown Academy for Boys, Octavius, his father, enrolled him as a student at ICY. Catto soon became the star pupil and later graduated as class valedictorian in 1858 at the age of 19. He soon began to teach Latin and Greek in Washington, D.C., and a year later came back to ICY to teach English and math. Soon after this appointment, Catto led his students of ICY to become soldiers for the Union during the Civil War. Catto was a leader for his students and a strong representative for the African American community and children of Philadelphia.
In 1866, Catto formed the city's second black baseball team. The Jefferson Street grounds was a baseball field that held the first interracial baseball game. It was played at 25th and Jefferson Street. After playing one season, they had great success after achieving a 9-1 record. On September 3, 1869, the Olympics, an all-white team played against Catto and the Pythians. Each individual team had the authority to call their own balls, strikes, safes, and outs. The umpire were only to hear appeals from each side. The Pythians chose not to appeal to any bad calls. Ultimately, the final score was won by the Olympics, 44-23. Even though they had lost, Octavius Catto and his team played with dignity and passion, facing unfair calls, and in the end, they were able to prove themselves in a racist community.
Out of the 37 Freedmen's Bureau banks opened in the 17 states and the District of Columbia, Octavius V. Catto was the 6th person in Philadelphia to open up a bank account at this location. 919 Lombard Street. Catto and other black leaders deposited thousands of dollars, making the bank one of the most successful operations in Philadelphia. In 1865, Congress established a bank for people to trustfully deposit their savings. The Bureau of Refugees, more globally known as the Freedmen's Bureau, provided housing, medical aid, and food to millions of poor people and former slaves. Catto, along with other ICY, Institute Colored of Youth, students worked on the political front to ensure Philadelphia's free black population benefited from this War Department initiative. Soon, the Freedmen's Bureau could not carry on any longer due to the shortage of materials and funds.
A major accomplishment of Octavius Catto was how he changed the transportation system in Philadelphia. The first streetcars in the region were running on steel rails and pulled by horses. The mass transit system was a network of privately owned streetcars that prohibited black riders. Many people in Catto's generation wanted to persuade the streetcar owners to allow black Philadelphians to ride. However, Catto and his followers chose a different path and decided to put pressure on the Pennsylvania state legislature to pass a law. They also engaged in civil disobedience, much like later civil rights heroes such as Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. Catto led efforts to stage sit-ins on streetcars to raise awareness of the injustice. Catto's hard work and the determination alongside other black Philadelphians to achieve equal access to streetcars paid off. On February 5, 1867, the bill Catto helped to author for the desegregation of streetcars had finally passed. On March 22, 1867, Governor John Geary signed the bill and black Philadelphians could at last ride the streetcars alongside of their white peers.
Despite the fact Octavius Catto died over a century ago, his legacy continues to be honored in his hometown of Philadelphia.
Recently, Mayor Jim Kenney oversaw the construction of a statue of Catto in front of City Hall, which pays homage to Catto's determination to undo the injustice in his community. The statue was erected in September of 2017.
The memorial is titled A Quest for Parity, which references Catto's life goals to eliminate racial inequality. It includes a voting box and pillars which allude to trolley cars, highlighting his campaign for African American voting rights and desegregation of Philadelphia transportation.
The statue will hopefully continue to stand for many years to come and inspire future generations for equality for all people and all human lives.